Welcome again to Math 800 Pre-Algebra. Today we are doing section 1.7, Dividing Integers. Our objectives: 1. To divide integers. 2. Identify properties of division. 3. Combine multiplying and dividing of integers. 4. Estimate answers to application problems involving division. And 5. Interpret remainders in division application problems. The answer to a division problem is called the quotient. Here are three different ways you can write a division. All three are the same. I should note that right now it's pretty obvious which number goes inside when you're doing long division, since right now it will always be the larger in absolute value. However, when we get into fractions and decimals, the number that's inside here is not always the largest number. It's the number that comes first. It's the number being divided. So you have to be careful about which number goes inside and which number goes outside. This number that goes on the inside is called the dividend. It is what is being divided. 16 divided by 2, 16 divided by 2, 16 divided by 2. The number on the outside is the divisor. It is what we are dividing by. 16 divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. The result is called the quotient. Again, all three of these mean the same thing. This is how you will see it written in your book, or how you will enter it in your calculator. This is the actual setup you will use for doing long division. I should note, if you need more help with doing long division, please see the review packet in D2L. How do we divide integers? If two numbers have different signs, the quotient is negative. For example, negative 18 divided by 3 is negative 6. One is negative, one is positive. 40 divided by negative 5 is negative 8. One is positive, one is negative. It does not matter whether the negative is on the top or on the bottom. The final result will be negative if one is negative and the other is positive. If two numbers have the same sign, the quotient is positive. Negative 30 divided by negative 6 equals 5. 48 divided by 8 equals 6. If they have the same sign, the answer is positive. Now let's look at some more examples. So we will start with negative 20 divided by 5. They have different signs, so the result is a negative. You can check any division by doing its corresponding multiplication. So, negative 20 divided by 5 equals negative 4 because if we do the corresponding multiplication, negative 4 times 5 equals negative 20. The quotient times the divisor equals the dividend. Negative 24 divided by negative 4. They have the same signs, so the quotient is positive. Negative 24 divided by negative 4 is a positive 6. Again, you can check with multiplication. Negative 24 divided by negative 4 equals 6 because 6 times negative 4 equals negative 24. Again, notice the different ways you can write this. You can write it with the fraction bar, or you can write it with this regular division symbol. They both mean division. A quick note about the level of difficulty. Most of your divisions in this course at this point will be pretty straightforward like these. There will be a few that will require long division, but not too many yet. However, when we get into fractions and decimals, you will have some more intense long division. So you have a little while to practice before you need to do it at a harder level. Sometimes you will have a division written as a fraction with a negative sign directly in front of it. You should think of this as a negative 1 times the division problem. For example, you could have a negative 24 divided by 8. This does not mean that both the top number, the 24, and the bottom number, the 8, is negative. What it means is that you have a negative 1 times this division. The negative 1 is not dealt with until you have simplified the division. So 24 divided by 8 is 3, and then negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So, negative 24 over 8 is negative 3. It is not a positive. There are not two negatives. There is only one negative, so your answer stays negative. Objective 2. Identify properties of division. The first property, when a non-zero number is divided by itself, the quotient is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Negative 18 divided by negative 18 is 1. Negative 793 divided by 793 is 1. We will use this property a lot when we get into fractions and when we work more with algebra. So this is definitely one you need to know. When a number is divided by 1, the quotient is the number. 5 divided by 1 is 5. Negative 18 divided by 1 is negative 18. Negative 793 divided by 1 is negative 793. When 0 is divided by any number other than 0, the quotient is 0. 0 divided by 5 is 0. 0 divided by negative 18 is 0. And 0 divided by negative 793 is 0. And lastly, division by 0 is undefined. There is no answer. 5 divided by 0 is undefined. Negative 18 divided by 0 is undefined. These two rules, if you need to check, do the corresponding multiplication. Recall that these are true because of their related multiplication. So you can check. Let's start up here. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times negative 18 is negative 18. 1 times negative 793 is negative 793. 5 times 1 is 5. Negative 18 times 1 is negative 18. We're going to skip this. Getting too hard to say that number. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times negative 18 is 0. But here, if 5 divided by 0 was a number, we would be saying something times 0 equals 5. And that doesn't make any sense, because when you multiply by the 0, the top should be 0. So, you cannot divide by 0. It is very important that you remember this. You cannot divide by 0. Objective 3. Combining, multiplying, and dividing of integers. Simplify 6 times negative 10 divided by, parentheses, negative 3 times 2, parentheses. Do operations inside parentheses first. We should note we have two sets of parentheses. The first one just has a single number, negative 10. So this parentheses just means 6 times something. However, this parentheses has an operation inside, namely multiplication. So we have to do this first. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Notice everything else just gets copied down. Now we start at the left and perform operations from left to right. 6 times negative 10 is negative 60. Copy down the things we didn't use. And negative 60 divided by negative 6 is a positive 10. Another example. Simplify negative 24 divided by negative 2 times 4 divided by negative 6. No operations inside parentheses. There is a set of parentheses, but there is no operation inside. So we will start at the left and perform the operations from left to right. Negative 24 divided by negative 2 is a positive 12. 12 times 4 is a positive 48. And 48 divided by negative 6 is negative 8. Again, notice how neat and organized this is. All the steps stay in line with one another. Any symbol we didn't use just gets copied down. It is very important that you stay neat and organized when doing problems like this. Objective 4. Estimate answers to application problems involving division. During a 24-hour lab experiment, the temperature of a solution dropped 96 degrees. Estimate the average drop in temperature each hour. We will use front-end rounding to estimate this. Negative 96 degrees rounds to negative 100. The reason it is negative is because it dropped 96 degrees. 24 hours rounds to 20. So for our estimate, we'll do a negative 100 degrees divided by the 20 hours, which gives us an average of negative 5 degrees each hour. Doing the exact answer requires taking the negative 96 divided by 24. You most likely don't know this at first glance. This is not one of the basic facts most people have memorized. However, even if you try to do long division, you quickly notice that it's just going to be 24 times a single number, and you simply have to go through the single-digit numbers until you identify it. In that case, I know I need 4 times something that will give me a 6, and 4 times 4 is 16, so that would be why I would start with that, and it is correct. So our exact answer is -4 degrees each hour. When you are rounding with division, depending on how much you rounded, your answer might be off by a lot. For example, if you round very big numbers, the bigger the numbers rounded, the further off from the correct answer you might be. And lastly, Objective 5, interpret remainders in division application problems. The math department at a college has $360 in its budget to buy calculators. If the calculators cost $25 each, how many can be purchased? How much money will be left over? Cost of one calculator is $25. The total budget is $360. So we are going to take $360 and divide it by the $25 of each calculator. Here is an example where we will need long division. I will walk you through the process. We start by asking how many times can 25 go into 36. 25 can go into 36 one time. Then we multiply 1 times 25 and we get 25. Then we subtract 36 minus 25 and get 11. Next we drop down this 0. Then we say how many times does 25 go into 110? 25 goes into 110 4 times. 4 times 25 is 100. We subtract this and get 10. Now, when we get into decimals, we will add a decimal point and continue this process. However, at this point we are just working with integers, so we will stop and we will have a remainder. The 14 is the number of calculators we purchased. The $10, our remainder, is the money left over. Again, the remainder is the money left over. So, the math department purchased 14 calculators and had $10 left. Luke needs to rent tents for 135 scouts going on a camping trip. Each tent sleeps 6 people. How many tents should he rent? So each tent holds 6 people. He has a total of 135 scouts that need tents. So we will take that total, 135, and divide it by the number of people each tent holds. 6 goes into 13 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract that and get 1. Drop down the 5. 6 goes into 15 2 times again. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract that and get 3. Again, at this point we have run out of numbers, so we are done. This is our remainder. 22 is the number of tents that will each have 6 scouts in it. However, there are 3 scouts left over. We cannot add these 3 scouts to one of the other tents because they have a maximum of 6 people. Therefore, we need 22 tents for the 6 scouts plus a second tent, or not a second, another tent to account for these extra 3 people. So all total, Luke will need to rent 23 tents, 22 with 6 each, and then an extra tent with those extra 3 scouts. That concludes section 1.7. Your next steps will be to complete the worksheet for section 1.7, check the key in D2L, and complete the online homework for section 1.7 in My Math Lab. After you have completed that, and again ask any questions in D2L if you need help, start on section 1.8.